that nigga come from heaven, he was kicked out. There's no way he could pull some shit off like that. He just came in Africa and just took niggas and nobody bust their gun or did a... It's so much of us, them niggas could have lost their eyes after a while. He didn't just come there, he has to embed fear into your psychology. A lot of his power don't even exist. It's like money. You get a little money, what happens? You buy a house, you're in debt for $150,000. Money didn't even exist. Now you're paying back the debt with real cash dollars. Now the money exists. Same way his power works. He has no power, but you give birth in his hospital. Now he has power because you receive birth of the child. He has no power, but you get married. You see the actual contract. You just gave birth. It's white supremacy again. He has no power. But then you have to go to him to be educated. So here we go. He only has the power that we gave him.
That's right.
So white supremacy don't exist, and he learned a lot of this weird and wacky shit from us. Believe it or not. He learned a lot of stuff. If you go into Nation of Islam lessons, say word, they don't say Yaqub is the original black man. And he's the father of the devil. Say word, they don't say that. So if the black man is the father of the devil, and it also says in the lessons, say word, they don't say in the lessons that he had to teach the devil devilishment. So if he had to teach the devil devilishment, it's almost a subtle conviction that white was right until black people taught it wrong.
That should say forgotten technology.
Think about it. I was raised on this shit because my pops first born. But when I got a thinking mind of my own, people started to hate me. It ain't just y'all, Nuwaubians hate me too. He called me Nuwaubian. I'm Nuwaubian by heart, but if you ask the average Nuwaubian, oh, we don't deal with him. He's doing his own thing. You damn right do my own thing, because these niggas is doing the wrong thing. I don't give a hell what anybody tell me. I don't have to be a slave under no black man. We done been enslaved by black people already. I know the knowledge. I'm not coming to be enslaved by nobody information. I got a thinking mind of my own. Don't you dare try to condemn me for someone else's sins. I uplift Dr. Ben. If Dr. Yoke says something wrong about him, he got to sleep with that at night, not me. I embrace him for the good that he has to offer for the community like all the other leaders. Let's go to the next one. I forgot to name this infernal fort, the ship that the slave master was on. I mean the slave brother. But we were taken in a ship that came for us to another that was ready to sail from Cape Coast. When we were put into the ship, we saw several black merchants. Black merchants, these were the slave buyers, the people that purchased them. This ship was filled with black people. What you think? America just had free blacks and none of them was getting in on slavery? Like, what are you thinking? Niggas was just walking around free, just by chance, watching other black people be enslaved. How does that work and they don't get offended unless they're part of it? Something I ask my Morris community all the time. There's some skeletons in our closet, and if we don't identify it, we're going to be likely to do it again. And giving or being put in a position of power, we will abuse it again. And when we found ourselves at last taken away, death was more preferable than life. And the plan was concerted amongst us that we might burn and blow up the ship, and to perish altogether in the flames, but we were betrayed by one of our own, a countrywoman, who slept with some of the headmen of the ship. I'm gonna go down. But it would be needless to give a description of all the horrible scenes which we saw, and the base treatment which we met with in this dreadful captive situation, as the similar cases of thousands which suffer by this infernal traffic are well known. Let's go next one. This should get intense right here. You should get the book. Because if you rely on white people to sell you the story about slavery, if you should have questioned, why is this white man being so honest about beating up the Native Americans, shooting us down? Why is he teaching us so much of this? Because he's trying to induce fear into you. Make you think he do it all by himself. He almighty, all powerful. I don't need no niggas to take them down. I do it all by myself. I ain't gonna give nobody credit for this, so they can fear me. Because if they don't fear me, I can't have power. So look at this. This Lord of hosts is great providence. We're going to go down. Where the brother says, but I escaped better than many of them. For eating a piece of sugar cane, some were cruelly lashed or struck over the face to knock their teeth out. He survived the ship, eating pieces of sugar cane that broke off because someone was whipping whipping the hell out of other black people. Black people was whipping black people so bad, pieces of sugar cane was falling off, and that's what he lived off of. Read it. He watched people get chopped up. Black people chopping up black people so the rest of them could be scared. So nobody play gangster on the shit. Read it. This is us. Niggas say, yo, we going to Africa, I'm making sure all my mans and them coming with me. You ain't gonna have me just worried about the white man. Anybody that can do that to their own is way more evil than someone that can do it to another person's race. That shit is treasonous. If you can sell your own people into slavery, that's worse than a white man enslaving us. What kind of monster is this? It's inside of us. It's constantly making us point at other people. But I must own to the same shame of my countrymen that I was first kidnapped and betrayed by some of my own complexion who were the first cause of my exile and slavery. Oh, next one. Damn. I love Marcus Garvey. People say, Polight, you always blame the victim. I say I ain't blame the victim. I blame the victimizer, the guy's doing the wrong thing. You can't make the black man that does something wrong to the black woman the victim too. There's only one victim. I'm not blaming the victim. I'm not a victim if I'm doing the wrong thing to you. But apparently, if that's true, Marcus Garvey is also blaming the victim. People love Garvey. I heard said he quote him a lot too. I agree with him. I love Garvey. People say, I'm Uncle Tom. You say, black people the one doing bad stuff to people? And then they quote Marcus Garvey and say, well, you ain't reading as much books as I'm reading. I got the book here with me too. The following content comes from the Philosophy and Opinions of Marcus Garvey, page 37, Purpose of Creation. The man or woman who has no confidence in self is an unfortunate being, and is really a misfit in creation. God Almighty created each and every one of us for a place in the world, and for the least of us to think that we were created only to be what we are, and not what we can make ourselves, is to impute an improper motive to the Creator for creating us. God Almighty created us all to be free. That the Negro race became a race of slaves was not the fault of God Almighty, the divine master. It was the fault of the race. He said the reason why we were slaves was the fault of the race. Y'all say, y'all big up Garvey, and then y'all ask me, where you getting this from? Marcus Garvey, the guy you told me to read. Niggas just be, it's a popularity shit. Like if you say Garvey, I say Garvey too, but we ain't really reading what they was teaching. That's why we can't figure out why we don't agree. Because some of us is reading and some of us are not. But we all are bigging up the same leaders. Confidence, conviction. He said, sloth, neglect, indifference cause us to be slaves. Sloth means to be extremely lazy. We ain't cursing out Garvey for calling black people lazy. Do you think he's calling all black people lazy? No. He's just saying too many black people are lazy. Sloth. Neglect, indifference cause us to be slaves. Confidence, conviction, action will cause us to be a free man today. But every time you see a confident man, you get insecure. You think he's trying to belittle you. No, I'm trying to pick you up. That's what they do in hip-hop. Look at all this money and all these women I got. And you say you're talking to the youth. So Polight say, look at all this money and women I got. But only thing these women are my wives, not video girls. And this money I didn't get from dope dealing. I got from real estate. Go to the next one. So the white man, strategies of war. A war can only really be fought against an enemy who shows himself by infiltrating the opponent's ranks, working from within to bring them down. You give them nothing to see or react against the ultimate advantage. From within, you also learn their weaknesses and open up possibilities of sowing internal dissension. So hide your hostile intentions. To take something you want, do not fight those who have it, but rather join them, either slowly, making your own, or wait for the moment to stage the coup d'etat. No structure can stand for long when it's rots from within. This is the white man's strategy on war. We should study what white people say when it comes to war, since we accredit them for so much war. War and power. It's a lecture. This lecture means to read etymologically. Let's go. Let's go. The white man. And look at the first. Look at the first agent. James Wormley Jones, FBI agent. Because J. Edgar Hoover found out he couldn't infiltrate a black community unless he used black people. So the first FBI agent, right here, there's his application. Let's go to the next one. Agent 800. So I say y'all keeping it 100. Whenever you promote dissension, you keep it at 800. And here's some African leaders apologizing for their role in slavery. Let's go to the next one. Who's that man? Play it.
So,
This brother said,
we're gonna have to get in these, we're gonna have to curtail these kids from fucking up out here on the streets, man, by giving them a right to pass the system. That's a system where the brothers, and it ain't got to be structured. We used to do it, man. Y'all older motherfuckers be checking niggas, behind on niggas. You know, blow the nigga shit out where he can't heal. But that's what happened. That would make a nigga strong. You understand? When you give them a system that gonna toughen their ass up, it's not gonna kill them. You know what I'm saying? We just want to toughen our young man up. You know, and make them motherfuckers hard and give them direction. And give them a blueprint about where they can live on these streets.
Hey, where the crazy shit
don't get money. Because you can't tell a motherfucker don't get money and you ain't got no option for them. So the older motherfucker, they can shut the fuck up about the dope game. If they want to get the older motherfucker want to change the dope game, motherfucker create some companies. If you ain't gonna create no companies for the kids, shut the fuck up. Because I believe working for the white man is even worse than working selling dope. Who are you to judge? Shit, I think working for the white man is even worse than selling drugs. You understand what I'm saying? Because you got some control over the drug trade. You got some control of it. And if you take over the control of it, the aspect of it that you can't control, he gonna stop shipping that shit down here because you doing with it what you ain't supposed to be doing with it.
There you go.
Because there's gonna be a certain amount of motherfuckers that's gonna die in this confrontation. So you just got to come up, you just got to strategize as a general and as a leader how these motherfuckers gonna lead here. Now some niggas gonna lead here. Now if you can get the motherfucking money and you can take the money and build some motherfucking companies with it, I would take it overseas, I would take it out of the white man's arena so you can control that shit. You understand what I'm saying? Because if he bust your ass, he can take everything. He can even go overseas if the government over there will allow him to do that. You understand what I'm saying? So if you can get the best out of it that you can, when Malcolm say by any means necessary, that's what it means. But you got to have a plan to say, okay, we're going to do this shit.
no, don't.
But we ain't going to do it about it. We're going to say, okay, it's an avenue to us, and we're going to get the most out of it. And after 30 years, 25 years of doing it, we should be able to leave it alone. You can't do that, get the fuck up. You ain't trying to be real. I ain't gonna lie no more.
This is what Malcolm X means by any means necessary, that we come up with this idea to sell dope for 30, 25 years. Then we can leave the dope alone. I'm selling real estate. I'm an Uncle Tom. Do you want him to represent your red, black, and green? Is that right or is it wrong? My brother, your community has beautiful people in it. And suffix to it is the word cartel. A word that takes on a connotation that alludes to big-time drug companies. It is not smart to have this on YouTube where I got it from. When you identify yourself as a black power cartel and concoct an ideology that if we could just control the dope for 25, 30 years, then we can leave it alone. And he's telling you the white man is the devil. Is this responsible behavior? Stand up if you know it's irresponsible. Stand up. I want y'all to chant, we have become our own worst enemy. Say it, we have become